Hi, I'm Jay Edwards, Director of Training at Sprytraining. Today's video is just to go into your nutritional situation for you to achieve your goals. Nutrition is said to be sometimes almost 70% of the equation, so it's very important you get this right. I'll be covering 3 different patterns of eating, whether it's to gain weight, build muscle, 2 is to maintain weight, and 3 is for weight loss. Also, I'll be covering how many meals to eat per day, roughly, and what to put in them, when to eat them, and how to prepare them. So first, let's deal with the 2 concepts we have by Dr. John Berardi, owner of Position Nutrition, and also a close ally with Sprytraining. So first, there's 2 different situations that Dr. John Berardi uses: anytime eating and post-workout eating. Anytime eating is slightly different to post-workout eating. Post-workout eating is the only time you should eat like this is after exercise. So it's a situation where you earn your starches. And anytime eating is where you eat any time else throughout the day which isn't post-workout. So first, let's have a look at the anytime situation. So looking at the anytime situation here, we have a plate with proteins, fats, and vegetable. If your goal is to lose weight, I would suggest you go down from your typical 3 meals a day down to eating 2 meals a day, but split those 2 meals a day into 2 different portions. So therefore you have 4 meals a day from the intake of 2 meals per day. So the anytime situation. Vegetables, as you can see, makes up the majority of the plate, almost just over half of the plate, so about 60% of the plate. And vegetables, there are particular vegetables that we like to use at Sprytraining: green leafy vegetables. Reason for them is the situation that the toll it takes on the body. So the lettuce, tomato makes no real sense for us. The top 4 vegetables we suggest at Sprytraining are broccoli, kale, cauliflower, and in Jamaica you can get callaloo and pok choy. Green vegetables is what we always suggest. They should be cooked for no more than 3 to 5 minutes. You don't want to overcook the vegetables and reduce vitamins A and C, which are water soluble, from the greens. So you don't want to overcook them for them to be too soft. I suggest you heat up, boil the water first, and then drop the vegetables in and cook them for as minimal time as possible. Then looking at your fats, your anytime meal, the fat is a replacement of starch, not carbohydrates, because you're still getting some portion of carbohydrates from the green vegetables. So it's not an abstinence from carbs, it's just a reduction, preferably starch. So the fats is a replacement of carbohydrates, starchy carbohydrates, during the anytime portion. The fats include healthy oils, nuts, and seeds. The top 3 oils, nuts, and seeds that we suggest here at Sprytraining: number 1 is avocado. 1 slice of avocado is enough for a portion size of a meal. An avocado, or you can have a small piece of coconut for your fats, or you can have some nuts. For example, 6 to 8 pieces of almonds is just about enough, or pumpkin seeds, sesame seeds, no peanuts. But you can have a tablespoon of coconut oil or some olive oil once it's not heated. When you heat the olive oil, you change the structure of the oil. The coconut oil can get away with the heating, but try and keep those oils as minimal as possible. Do not fry any of your foods. Just add oil to it if you want to add at the end of preparing the food, but do not fry any of your foods. No fried food is to be consumed throughout any of this process. Proteins. Proteins make up 1/4, a quarter of the plate, 25%. Proteins include red meat, chicken, fish, eggs, or a vegetarian source. So, for example, here in Jamaica you can have some jerk chicken. A quarter chicken, is it substantial? Or even half of a quarter of chicken, the breast part particularly, because it's got so much flesh, which is considerably more protein. Fish, steamed fish, great form of protein. Eggs as well, either 3 to 4 boiled eggs, 1 yolk preferably, and you can also scramble eggs. But if you scramble your eggs, still only have 1 yolk, and try also not to use oil to scramble the egg. If you're going to use oil, just a little bit of coconut oil, and that's about it, no more. So that's the situation of anytime meal. For consuming liquids of anytime meal, only some water or tea. No sugar to be added, just water or tea. No juice, nothing like that. Just water and tea. Snacks. You can't have snacks if you're on weight loss. It's as simple as that. There is no snacks to be added to any of these meals if you're on weight loss. You're supposed to just consume the meals that are prescribed. No snacking whatsoever. However, if you're on a weight gain situation, yes, you may have healthy snacks to keep your body in an anabolic state as possible. Finally, cutting back on supplementation. You can have a protein shake immediately after exercise because proteins from whey gets into the blood much quicker than say red meats or even chicken. So a whey protein straight after exercise is a fantastic way to get some protein into the blood. Also, to deal with the starchy situation, you can only have ground provision starch for the first 8 weeks of the training cycle, meaning anything that comes out of the ground or of trees. Do not have any dumpling because it's made from flour and it's man-made. You can have green bananas, you can have yams, yellow, white, whatever color you choose. Sweet potato, breadfruit, once it's not fried. Any carbohydrate starch that comes from the ground or off trees, you may have them. So, I hope we're clear on that, guys. No snacking for weight loss and maintenance of weight, and you have to be very, very careful with how the food is prepared. Okay, moving on. This is the post-workout meal. Post-workout meal, the difference is here, you've earned the right to have a portion of starch. You have to earn the right to have starch. You cannot consume starch unless you exercise. Exercise is a way to earn starchy carbohydrates. For example, if you look at the plate size here, the proportion has to be the same. The starch is just a very small fraction. You're talking probably about 2/10 of the size of the plate, right? 10% rather, of the size of the plate is what you're looking at to have starch. So if you're looking at a piece of yam, the way one piece of yam is cut, you're supposed to then cut that in half, and that's your starch intake. You can have the post-workout meal once you've trained. Even if your workout session is at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, yes, you've depleted glycogen, you're still entitled to go and have starch. Just a small amount to replenish the glycogen. Vegetables. Vegetables make up then half of the plate. So the green vegetables again, the broccoli, kale, cauliflower discount 2, callaloo and pak choy. But the top 3 is what I would suggest over the rest. And then coming over, you can see here the protein intake has somewhat doubled up. So you now have 50% of the plate size of protein. Same proteins again. You can have red meat, so it's the slice of steak. Once it's not fried. You can have chicken once it's grilled or jerked or boiled but not fried. Baked chicken, you have to be very careful with this if you have it prepared by someone else. They can't add any condiments like ketchup or mayonnaise or sugar or too much seasoning. Have to be very careful with how the baked chicken is prepared. You can also have a vegetarian source of proteins such as legumes or beans, broad beans, red kidney beans, but you must be conscious of the starch, carbohydrates that comes inside these beans too. So if you do have beans as a protein source, you then factor out the starch that you will have. Okay? Again, liquid situation, to add with that, water and tea. No sugar, no fruit juices, no sodas, nothing like that can be added. Now to conclude, what is very important for the 3 different situations here in terms of weight gain, maintenance and weight loss. Weight loss, you are to have about 3 anytime meals and 1 post-workout. However, for weight gain, you're looking at 3 post-workout meals and 1 anytime. Reason being, to build muscle, you need more starch to help you do that. The carbohydrates is what helps the blood to transport the proteins around the body to where you need it to go. And if your goal is maintenance, I'd suggest maybe 1.5 post-workout meal a day and 2 anytime meals. It's all about getting the balance right for your body type. Your body type, you could be an ectomorph, a mesomorph, and an endomorph. Look them up. An ectomorph basically is a tall, skinny person. A mesomorph is basically a muscular built person. And a endomorph is somebody who is kind of a bit more plumpy. They find it easy to gain fat and muscle. So you need to take into consideration what is your current status and where it is you want to be. If you're still confused, do not hesitate to drop me an email or drop me a text message. Give me a ring, come and see me whilst I'm at the gym. But going forwards, as Director of Training, I will be training every single client at least once a month. And I will do an evaluation to make sure you're keeping up with your goals and you are achieving in the right about time what you need to be.